Welcome to Study Time, a televised home learning program produced by Rwanda Education Board.
Hello students, welcome to TV learning program. My name is Benon. I will be taking Senior 1 students in biology. Dear students, you are welcome. And I request you to actively participate in this lesson. Also, take time after the lesson, transfer the knowledge, see if what we have learned in class happens in everyday life in our communities. And then also I request you to get your pen, get your biology book, and then note down important points of this lesson. Remember, as usual, our subject is about life, because when we are studying biology, we know it is the study of life. Life of living organisms like plants and animals. Now, when you see on the picture, tell me what you are observing. What are you observing on this picture? This is a happy mother with a baby. That means the mother is taking care of the young one or the baby. What about on this picture? Still we see the mother taking care of the young baby. The mother is happy, and of course, if the mother is happy, we also expect the child to be happy, the baby to be happy. What about on this picture? You can see boys and girls together at home, in their home place, in their village. Now, this is my question. Do you think producing many children is good? I need your point of views. Do you think producing many children is good? Excellent. Producing many children is not good. What are the consequences of producing many children? What are the consequences of producing many children? One of the consequences is poverty, because when you produce many children you are not able to cater for, then one of the consequences is poverty. Another consequence is little food. Let us say consequences of producing many children. One of the consequences is poverty. Another one we have said, we have talked about poor diet. That means here, remember, our body to work properly, to be healthy, to be strong and able to fight against diseases, we must be able to get food which is balanced, what we call balanced diet. That means food must have nutrients like proteins, carbohydrates, fats, mineral salts. It must have vitamins. Even water must be there, because remember, water makes the biggest percentage of our body, so we need water. And when the body gets all those nutrients, including fiber, that means it has got a balanced diet. The body is healthy, you look good, the body is able to fight against diseases, you grow well, and everything is perfect. But when you have very many children, you are not able to provide them with all requirements, and what happens is poor diet. In addition to that, food is little food. That means you don't give them the food they are supposed to get. What other factors? One of them is low life expectancy. That means because of not getting all the requirements, life expectancy goes down. Then we also have other factors, problems of shelter, unhygienic conditions. They live in a place where there is no hygiene, and in that case we say children are exposed to diseases. Then, in addition to that, it also becomes a burden to the community. It can even become a burden to the country when there is high population growth. That means the growth of the population must match with the economy of the country. If they don't match, then we expect negative consequences. From there, what is our lesson today? The lesson today is from Unit 14, which is Reproduction, Pregnancy, and Childbirth. This is lesson number 2, where we are going to talk about childbirth. Objectives of our lesson: make sure you're able to explain stages of childbirth. Another objective, make sure you're able to explain problems which may occur during childbirth. And then make sure you're able to explain ways to promote safe pregnancies. What do we mean when we talk about childbirth? Childbirth is also known as labor or parturition, which brings pregnancy to an end. It results in one or more newborn infants being expelled from woman's uterus, and this childbirth has 3 stages. First stage lasts about 12 hours, and what happens? The cervix, do you remember cervix of female reproductive system, dilates or it widens, and the uterus begins to contract. Remember, the uterus is what we called the womb. That's where the baby grows from. Because after fertilization, when the sperm and egg meet to form a zygote, the zygote divides by mitosis. It leads to embryo which attaches to the uterus by the process called implantation. Now, this embryo grows in the uterus and becomes fetus. The fetus is the one that will lead to a baby. And now we are talking about childbirth. That means after 9 months, the baby has to be produced. So during the first stage, the cervix dilates or widens, and the uterus or the womb begins to contracting. So the fluid called amniotic fluid is released, and this is sometimes called breaking of the waters. This happens when the amniotic sac bursts and then amniotic fluid is released. And it is signals that the second stage of labor is about to begin. When we see the amniotic fluid being produced or coming, that means the second stage of labor is about to begin. Then the second stage lasts between 20 minutes to 1 hour. What happens? Muscles of the uterus and abdomen contract to push the baby out of the uterus. Cervix and birth canal. That means from the uterus to cervix, from the cervix to birth canal. This second stage is known as delivery of the baby. In the normal childbirth, the head of the baby comes out first, and then the umbilical cord is cut. Remember, umbilical cord connects the fetus to the mother. It has umbilical artery and umbilical vein. Those are blood vessels which transport blood. Remember, umbilical vein transports oxygen and food-rich nutrients within blood from the mother to the fetus. Umbilical artery transports waste materials from the fetus to the mother. So this second stage is known as the delivery of the baby. It lasts between 20 minutes and 1 hour in the normal situation. And this is where we see high concentration of oxytocin hormone. This is a hormone which causes the contraction of the uterus so that the baby can be produced. Remember, this hormone increases by what we call positive feedback mechanism, and it leads to the contraction of the uterus so that the baby can be produced. We also have the third stage, which lasts between 10 to 30 minutes after childbirth. And this is where the placenta is expelled from the woman's body. The expelled placenta is known as afterbirth. That means you have to remember the function of the placenta. Placenta is an organ that connects the fetus to the mother. It is the one which allows the exchange of food, nutrients, and oxygen from the mother to the fetus. It is the one which allows the exchange of waste materials like carbon dioxide and urea from the fetus to the mother. It is the one which connects the mother to the fetus. So this placenta, after birth, it has to come out, and that is what we call afterbirth. So those are the 3 stages of childbirth, and they are important. Let us use this diagram to explain the stages we have seen. You can see this is a baby inside the uterus of the mother, and then in stage number 1, we have dilation of the cervix. This is the cervix, it dilates. You can see here it has become wide, and then this is the umbilical cord connecting the mother to the fetus, and then this is the birth canal or the vagina. Then stage number 2, we have birth of the baby. You can see the baby has turned, the head is facing down, and then the cervix has widened, so the baby is being produced. Then in the 3rd stage, we said that we have expulsion of the placenta. The placenta comes out, what we call afterbirth. Now, this happens during the normal birth, what everyone would wish to happen, what every person would wish to hear, because everyone wishes to have a normal child delivery or the normal production of the child. We also have what we call problems during birth. If the mother or the baby experiences difficulties during the birth, then we have what we call cesarean section, which may be done. This is a surgical procedure during which the doctor cuts through the abdominal wall and the uterus to deliver the baby. According to World Health Organization, every day worldwide we have 800 women who die of causes related to pregnancy or childbirth. This is a big number, of which we have to keep thinking, finding ways as scientists to overcome death of the baby or the mother during pregnancy or childbirth. This death, we call it maternal mortality. That means the mother dies during pregnancy or childbirth. Nearly all maternal deaths occur in developing countries. This is very unfortunate that most of these deaths happen in developing countries, and in most cases in rural areas and in poor communities. So this is what we have to fight. We have to learn, we have to find ways of overcoming maternal mortality or death of mothers when they are producing, as well as babies. We have to avoid that. Women die because of complications like severe bleeding after childbirth. That means they can bleed a lot, bleeding. They can bleed a lot. Or this can be caused by infections. It can be caused by high blood pressure during pregnancy. High blood pressure, this one is very common these days. We hear people suffering from hypertension, what we call high blood pressure. So this is one of the complications women can have during pregnancy or during child delivery. Complications from delivery are also common. Unsafe abortion, sometimes people need to abort and using improper methods or ways, and this can lead to loss of lives of women or the babies. Inadequate health care, this is another cause. Lack of information, poverty, distance to travel to health centers, cultural practices are some of the reasons why women do not receive help during their pregnancy. These cultural practices are common in some communities, and women don't want to go to health centers, hospitals, so that they can have proper delivery. So those are some of the problems associated with pregnancy, which we have to fight. Then we also have what we call unintended pregnancy. This is very common, and it also has many negative effects. Unintended pregnancy is any pregnancy that is unplanned or unwanted. That means you don't plan it. But we know in the normal situation, a married man and a woman should plan the number of children they should produce. Of course, this has to match with the economy of the family, the capacity of the family. So if there is no planning, then we say unplanned pregnancy. These days, it is even common in young children, young girls, where we see them becoming pregnant. This is common in our communities, and we have to stand and say it should stop, more especially when it is done by married men or old men violating young girls. We have to say no to unplanned or unintended pregnancy, because the effects are to all people. That means the pregnant girl will have consequences, her family will have consequences which are negative, and then the community will have negative consequences, as well as the entire country. That's why we all have to join hands and say no to unplanned or unwanted pregnancies, more especially to young girls. Causes of unintended pregnancy include not using contraception or not using it properly. contraceptive failure, lack of knowledge about sex and reproduction, lack of planning, and rape. Rape is very dangerous. Then, of course, what happens? You start to regret because you have not planned for what has happened. Steps to promote safe pregnancies. We have to promote safe pregnancies and childbirth, antenatal or prenatal care, or even postnatal care have to be planned. Care refers to looking after the baby and protecting a pregnant woman and her fetus during pregnancy and childbirth. The first month of pregnancy are the most critical for the developing infant because major steps in fetal development take place at this time. That means when a woman is pregnant, the first month are very important. She needs to visit a doctor or a nurse so that different medical tests are done so that she can be advised by the doctor, so that she can know the food nutrients she should take so that the baby can grow well. She should, as soon as she finds out that she's pregnant, she should see a doctor or health worker so that she can be given vitamins to take, like folic acid, to reduce risks of birth defects. She should also rest often, time to rest. She should also eat a healthy and balanced diet. Remember, when we talk about balanced diet, we see that it is composed of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, mineral salts, vitamins, fiber, and water. So she should have food which has all those nutrients. And remember, they are very important to the baby. She should avoid foods that can cause food poisoning, like shellfish, or food poisoning is very dangerous because it can cause miscarriage. Miscarriage is very bad. She should avoid caffeine, alcohol, and cigarettes because they have direct impacts to the baby. She should only eat well-cooked meat because undercooked meat can have harmful pathogens which can have direct impact to the embryo or fetus. She should arrange for health worker to assist at the birth or arrange to go to a hospital for birth. That is a pregnant woman who has to follow all the procedures so that she can have proper delivery. In this case, we say the baby has to be fine and okay, and the child has to be normal. Then there is what we call postnatal care. This is the care which is given to the baby after childbirth. These days, we hear Ministry of Health informing people about 1,000 days. These 1,000 days, we include days during pregnancy. We also include 2 years after the baby is produced. Remember, these 2 years, the baby must be breastfed by the mother. So after the birth, the mother produces breast milk. Breast milk is the ideal food for infants. That means it is the good food for the babies. Why? Because it contains a perfect balance of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, mineral salts, vitamins, and it can easily be digested by the baby. So that's why breast milk is very important. It also contains antibodies which boost the baby's immune system. In addition to that, breastfeeding boosts the relationship between the mother and the baby. So it is very important. Breastfeeding is very important. So it means postnatal care or care provided by the mother to the baby is very important. In addition to that, antenatal care is also important. Antenatal care is that care provided during pregnancy. That's why the mother has to take measures during pregnancy and after pregnancy. During pregnancy, she has to eat a balanced diet. She has to visit the health center or hospital as many times as possible. She has to avoid harmful substances like alcohol, cigarettes, and coffee because they can be dangerous to the baby. So this is a woman who has produced a child and she is very happy. So, dear students, our lesson today talked about childbirth. We have seen the stages of childbirth, and we have seen that this is very important. We have also talked about consequences of producing many children, and we have seen that most of them are negative. Allow me give you homework to test your level of understanding. Question number 1, explain the term parturition. Question number 2, what are the stages of childbirth? Question number 3, explain changes which may occur during childbirth. Question number 4, explain different steps to promote safe pregnancy. Question number 5, do you think postnatal care is important? Explain. Question number 6, explain reasons why producing children should involve planning as well as man and woman discussion. Question number 7, do you think population growth should correspond to the economy of the country? Explain with reasons. Dear students, thank you for your active participation. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of the day.